Today's crime story is taking us to Venezuela, where a sitting head of state was being captured and taken to United States to face a criminal charges in the court. This is a story of political power, alleged corruption, decade of crisis, and an international confrontation that has shaken the world. How did Maduro rose to power? Wait, let me explain. Nicolás Maduro began his political career as a bus driver union leader in Caracas. Later, he became a close ally of President Hugo Chavez, Venezuelan left-hand leaders who governed from 1999 until his death in 2013. After Chavez's death, Maduro was chosen by Chavez as his successor, and he won the 2013 general election that happened in Venezuela. That is how he became the president of Venezuela since then. Maduro has been a deeply controversial leader over the years. Venezuela citizens suffered, economies crumbled, widespread of hunger and food shortage, you understand, and inflation took over the country. Many Venezuelans were seeking for better life in the foreign country. All of them just dey run comot for the country. Many critics from inside and outside Venezuela said that his government became increasingly authorizing that if he wants something like this, he must use power. Just see make dem do am, you understand, allegedly. However, his supporters still praise him, you understand, that he's defending the Venezuela independence against foreign influence. You know, all these people wey dey shop from government, they will always support the government. That's what just happened there. His government was accused of undermining democratic institutions and suppressing political opposition. You grab. Elections was widely criticized by international observers for not being fair and free elections. You grab. They do magu whenever it comes to election for that man to enter inside the power again. You grab, allegedly. There were frequent reports of political persecution, imprisonment of opposition leader and restriction of mass freedom. Bro, this guy dey jail all in political opposition. You grab. Anybody wey wan do election with him, one way or the other, they go impeach am, they go sha do bad thing to am. You grab. Because of this, many countries including the United States did not recognize his presidency as legitimate. Why did US decided to capture him? Wait, let me answer that also. As far back as March 2020, the US Department of Justice charged Nicolás Maduro and several Venezuelan officials with serious offense wey US table for them, including narco-terrorism and drug trafficking. The indictment alleged that Maduro and his government were involved in a criminal network called the Cartel de la Soleil, meaning the cartel of the sun, that they were allegedly trafficking cocaine into the United States and working with some armed group called Colombia FARC and other cartels. Those charges include narco-terrorism and conspiracy of importing cocaine into the United States, and various weapon offenses that were charged against him and his one or two people wey dey run the government together. The United States government also placed an reward up to $50 million to anyone that dropped information that leads to this Maduro arrest. So that means say they still don collect that money allegedly, come free that man wey dey take arrest am allegedly. The US military operation and arrest, how did it happen? Wait, let me tell you. On 3 of January 2026, the US military executed a large-scale military operation in Venezuela. According to US officials, the mission resulted in capturing Maduro and his wife, Sheila Florence, in the capital of Venezuela, Caracas. So they transported him to the United States, and very soon they'll be taking him to the court in New York, where he'll be facing the custody, and we'll be knowing what happened to him next. The operation includes strike against some targets in Venezuela that has been planned for over some months now, you understand, and this action sparked a question and controversy around the international, that using a military action to seize a sitting president, you understand, using a military action to seize a sitting head of state, is this action legal? This is the US authority on that question. The US authority said that Maduro, because he was indicted and considered as a fugitive, so it could be lawful to arrest him under the US criminal law once taken into custody in foreign land. The United States insists that the charges are based on evidence of involvement in massive drug trafficking and narco-terrorism that affected the United States for many years. Reactions around the world are divided. While some leaders are supporting this action, you understand, and some leaders are not supporting this action, while China, Russia, and Cuba are asking for explanation why the US did something like that. You grab. Inside the Venezuela, the government lawyers, you understand, are saying that the United States come into the Venezuela sovereignty to break their law. You understand that the United States did not respect the law. You understand, while the Venezuela citizens are seeing around the world happy about this action. The Venezuela people are happy about this, while some people in the government post are not happy about this. What all this means? This case is unprecedented in modern history. A former sitting head of state forcefully removed by another country military force to stand a trial charge in their country. Do you understand? It feels like the president of your country was being removed by another country to go and face court charge in their own country. Na so e be. That means that if they can come and carry your president like that, you just be like choking like this. Whether Maduro is guilty of the charge or not will ultimately be decided by the US courtroom. Until then, all elements remain under debate. Some people view this as justice for long-time criminal gbos, you understand. Others see this as a dangerous step that could undermine the international norms. This story, part crime saga and part geopolitical thriller, is still unfolding because there is more to this. We don't know what the US will still charge against this man, and we don't know how many years allegedly, you understand. But what is your opinion about all these things that happened? You grab, and don't forget to follow for more interesting crime stories like this and so legit. You grab, don't forget to follow MJ for more, you understand. And you never won't leave the screen. You want more story, Abby? Just follow. You will get more story in bunk.